Hello everybody, welcome to Rachel's classroom. In this video we will be seeing realized yield method for calculating cost of equity capital. In this method, uh, this method is based upon the assumption that the past behavior will be repeated in future. So this method will be useful in under three conditions. Number one being the shareholders expect the realized yield of the past in future as well. Number two, the firm remains in the same risk class. And number three, the market price of the shares does not change significantly. If it falls under these conditions, then we will use the realized yield method. Let's see a sample sum. Mr. Sam purchased 10 shares in a company at a cost of rupees 5,200 on 1st January 2001. He retained the shares for 5 years and sold them on 1/1/2006 for a price of rupees 6,500. The dividends which he received for the last 5 years are as follows. For the year 2001, it was 300. For the year 2002, rupees 300. For the year 2003, it is rupees 320. And 4 is 320 again. And in the 5th year also, the dividend is 320. Now, they are asking us to compute the cost of equity shares. Now, let's proceed to solve this problem. Okay, so first we need to find the average of the dividends received. So we have to add up all the dividends received and divide it by the number of years. In this case, it is 5 years and 5 dividends. So we add up all the dividends given and divide it by 5. We have the average dividend received as 312 rupees. Profit on the sale of shares is arrived at by selling price minus purchasing price. So the profit is 1,300. So the average again, you will divide it by the number of years. In this case, it is 5. So the average profit is 260 rupees. So the total return for the year is average dividend plus average profit. So the total return for a year is 572. So to find the return on investment, you divide the total return for a year by the purchase price. So the return on investment is 11%. Since we got 11% as our return on investment, we will start with 11%. Our present value factor will start at 11%. So the first column is year, second column is the dividends that the person has received, and 2006 he is selling the shares. So 2006 you won't receive any dividend, only sales proceeds is there. Only in 2006 you are selling, therefore only near 2006 you are writing 6,500. PV factor from the PV table you will write down for 5 years. For the 6th year you will repeat the PV factor for the sales, right? So the PV values are, you are multiplying the dividend into the PV. This is, you're trying to find the present value for the expected dividends. So you add up the total present value of the cash inflows and subtract it from the total cash outflow. That is the amount you paid to buy this shares. So for 11% you are getting a negative net present value of 197. So since this is negative, we have to try one more iteration. So let's try 10%. So for 10%, again, you do the same things that you did for 11%, and you get the total present value of cash inflows and subtract cash outflow from it. As soon as you get a positive value, you can stop iterating. So at 10%, you're getting a positive net present value of 14.58. So using the IRR formula, lower rate plus positive net present value divided by difference in calculated present value into difference in rate. So lower rate is, we tried 11% and 10%. Of that, 10% is the lower rate. So we take 10%. Positive NPV. As soon as we get the positive NPV, we stop iterating, so that last positive value you take 14.58, and you find the difference between the calculated present values. So, and you multiply it by the difference in rate. Since we have only two iterations, 11 minus 10. Therefore, the cost of equity is 10.07%. Thank you.